Hello, what is up guys, I'm your host Gordon and welcome to another one of my video. What I got over here is an Adventure Force Deuce Pro. Finally, in Malaysia, we are getting the Adventure Force Deuce Pro over here. Man, that name though. And of course, if you wanted to get one of these in Malaysia, you can get this from Aeon, Parkson, Isetan, Hamleys, Sogo, Litt hobby store. And of course, this video wouldn't be possible without the help from Litt for sending me this blaster for today's review. And of course, without further ado, let us continue this video with an unboxing. In the box, we got the blaster itself, a holster, 2-cylinder and a cylinder holster, 18 darts, and a manual. To holster the blaster is pretty straightforward. You just have to slide in the blaster just like so. To attach the barrel holster, just align this orange plastic with the holes on the blaster holster. And you can just drop in the barrel just like so. And this is how the blaster looks like with everything installed. Okay, first look at the blaster. As you can see, the aesthetic of the blaster is definitely one of those a revolver style foam, that blaster, and this is a huge revolver blaster. And of course, most of this is actually thanks to, you know, the barrel extension over here. Yes, this is actually a barrel extension. I wouldn't say this as a barrel extension. This is more of an actual chamber of the blaster. More on that later. And seriously guys, with the barrel extension off, this whole blaster kind of looks like a strong arm. The build quality of the blaster, as expected from Primetime Toys, it is of course pretty solid. The entire blaster is made out of a combination of some really thick ABS plastic and aluminium. I'm talking about this, you know, barrel cum chamber over here. There's actually 3 ways for you to reload this blaster over here. The first way, you can actually reload this blaster by pushing the darts into one of this cutout at the left hand side of the blaster. And you can't really spin to the next slot unless you prime the blaster and spin it just like so in order for you to, you know, reload the darts. The second way to reload the blaster is of course to push out the cylinder slightly, just like what you expect from a revolver style blaster, and you reload it this way. And the third way, probably the most straightforward way, is that you just have to pop the cylinder out entirely. Either you can load the cylinder or just grab a new fresh cylinder and pop it in just like so. And yes, this blaster actually came with 2 extra cylinder for you to reload this blaster on the fly. And not to mention that the blaster also comes with one of those cylinder holster for you to, you know, house your extra cylinders. And you don't really have to worry that the cylinder will fly off in the middle of the game or something, because this thing is actually pretty secure. And speaking about holster, this blaster also comes with a holster for the blaster. And not only the blaster, it also comes with a holster for the barrel extension, so that you can holster your blaster and the barrel extension separately. And if you think that's a lot of work, you can just pre-install the barrel extension and holster the whole thing all together. Seriously guys, this thing is a really huge revolver. Look at this extra barrel extension popping out over here. It's kind of funny in a way. Or if you want to do it the cool way, you can pull out your blaster, pop the blaster onto the barrel extension, twist it, and pull the entire thing out. To me, that's a lot of work, but if you wanted to look cool, that's the way to go. Yeah. And there's actually 2 things that I found interesting about this blaster. It's the new safety mechanism. Unlike previous blaster where you have to, you know, push a button at the side over here, the trigger safety is actually located at the grip itself. You will have to push the trigger safety with your fingers and then you can fire the blaster. Just like so. It kind of reminds me of a 1911 where the trigger safety is actually located, you know, at the back of the grip over here. But yeah, I think that's a cool concept. And the second most interesting thing of this blaster, and yes, I've seen a lot of reviews of this blaster, the blaster actually performs better with the barrel extension, because this barrel extension itself is not just a barrel extension. It is the breech itself. You know, the moment when the darts actually travel through this barrel over here, it actually seals the surrounding of the barrel, creating higher air pressure, in which it will give better FPS. Well, we'll test that out later. Oh yeah, one more thing that I forgot to mention. I've heard complaints in multiple video reviews that darts will actually fall off from this, you know, cutout over here. But for my unit, the darts pretty much stay in place. Let us try out with some bamboo darts. Nope, nothing's falling out. Perhaps the problem is fixed on their, later production unit. Back to the blaster, as you can see, we got a roll of Picatinny rail on top of the blaster and somewhat of a Picatinny rail at the bottom of the, barrel extension over here, which doesn't really look like a Picatinny rail that will hold anything. But just to tell you guys, it's there. The grip of the blaster is actually pretty comfortable. The trigger pull is pretty smooth as well. Other than that, I would say that it is a pretty straightforward blaster. So yep, I guess that's all of the quirks and features of this blaster over here. So without further ado, let us go test the blaster out. Okay, we are back. I mean, the performance of the blaster is of course great. With the barrel off, the blaster can shoot from 109 FPS all the way to 118 FPS. Oh yeah, one more thing that I actually found out without the barrel is that when you actually shoot the blaster, it sounds pretty rough. And of course, hitting a target in, 9 to 10 meters is not an issue at all. With the barrel on, it sounds way smoother. The blaster can shoot from 159 FPS all the way to 167 FPS. Holy moly, that's a massive jump in FPS. And of course, the accuracy of this blaster from 10 to 13 meters is actually very good. And in the same time, I did not encounter any of those complaints that I've seen in, YouTube so far. Maybe they might actually fix it on their later production unit. So far, operating this blaster, I did found out something weird, is that even though I've loaded up the entire cylinder of the blaster, sometimes when I prime and shoot the blaster, even though the dart is in there, it didn't really fire anything. I mean, the dart don't really come out. And will this blaster passes the wall test if I have a wall full of dart zone blaster? Yes, of course, the blaster actually passes the wall test. It matches the Adventure Force or dart zone color scheme over here. Not to mention that the performance are great. And so, yep, I guess that's it with the blaster. So if you guys like the video, feel free to smash the like button. And I'll be posting video every Saturday, maybe once in a while on Wednesday. So do remember to smash the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. So yep, I guess that's it. Gordon's checking out and I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Adios, guys!